Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. My name is Dan Hafner. Welcome back into the Tech Bytes podcast. I am solo today, no special guest to bring you today, but I wanted to come on today and talk a little bit about a recent event that I went to this past week, this past weekend. That was very, very interesting. I had a lot of very cool takeaways from it. So this is kind of the end of the year. Like if you're probably thinking about what's coming up in 2026, what did you accomplish in 2025? What are the new things you want to be doing? What are the new businesses you want to start, new programs you want to start, new offers you want to put out there, new apps you want to launch maybe. I love going to events about this time of year because it's that time of year when a lot of people start to slow down. And I can kind of be like that as well. But I also really try to speed up. Like that is one really cool tactical advantage. If you can really train yourself to speed up towards the end of the year, what does everyone do? Everyone slows down during the holidays. And then come January, they're ready to rock and roll and start doing these things. Imagine if you had a 2-month head start on that. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of kind of what all that is. There was some very, very cool AI, takeaways that I had, some new things that are coming out in this space. Just very, very exciting things. So I'm going to share some of those today with you guys. I'm going to kind of walk you through what I learned, what I'm going to be implementing, and what I'm doing, and maybe you'll have some takeaways and some realizations inside of all of that. So let's start planning 2026. So if you guys have not already, please like and subscribe to the show. And just a quick announcement as well. I'm going to mention this at the end. I have a very, very special Black Friday offer coming out starting Black Friday. So I'm going to be launching something for the very first time. I should have done this 2 years ago. But again, this kind of goes along with that theme I was talking about around getting started before you hit January 1st. I'll kind of give you guys a teaser since I love you guys on the podcast. It's going to be an actual thing we're going to walk through together in December that may or may not have something to do with apps. Okay, with software, with vibe coding. So you can probably maybe put a little bit of that together. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep teasing this and keep pushing this out there. But I'm going to be opening that up for enrollment starting Black Friday, and I'm very, very excited for it. I think it's going to help a lot of people really get a head start on 2026 and accomplish some really, really cool things. So that's all I'm really going to say about that as well. I kind of have been alluding to this a little bit more, but it's coming, and I'm kind of putting it all together and making sure before I really publicly share anything in a very clear way that I have everything kind of dialed in exactly what the offer is going to be and how it's going to work. So probably in the next episode, I'll have that for you guys. So so this event that I went to this past weekend was in New Orleans. And it was called Get Elevated Live, and it is put on by a lady named Allie Bloyd, who's very, very awesome. I really liked meeting her. She's a badass when it comes to go high level and AI automations, and she's an OG of that space. If you're familiar with Go High Level or this, that kind of all-in-one software, marketing software, the software that we have called Launchpad is actually built inside of High Level. It's very, very cool, very, very interesting. And her event called Get Elevated Live is really all about teaching people how to start using and leveraging Go High Level, but also for people like me who have been using it for so long to continue to leverage it and build upon it and really start to maximize the things that you can do, because you can do so much with that software, right? And really what I was hoping to get out of it was really exactly what it is, in learning how to use this tool that not only I have used, but have, resold to my clients and people that I work with, to really start to get better and better results. There's always things you can be doing better. Again, Go High Level is so jam-packed with features that it's hard to maximize it. It really, really is, because there's just so much, and they're adding so many new things all the time. And it's that's really what I was after. How can I not only leverage this to grow Dapper No Code moving in the future, but also to help the clients that I work with to leverage it and get better results. And it got to really meet some really cool people. Obviously I think that's one of the coolest parts about these events is that, it's not only just being there getting the information, but meeting the people, the kind of the things that happen when you're in the lobby or you're out there in the hallway, or going out to dinner with different people and doing different things. So I got to meet a lot of cool people. If you're anyone from the show that's listening now, I really appreciated meeting you. If I didn't get to meet you, we'll definitely have to make that happen. But I've really learned some really cool things, because that's some of the cool things you learn as insights. I think the first big realization that I had was, um, if you're starting a new venture, build it to sell from day one. That was a one really big takeaway I had from meeting a possible new business partner of mine. The first morning was, I've kind of kicked around, is this business something I would want to sell someday? Is it not? Is this something that I truly love doing? Is it something I want to do for the next 30 years of my life? It's kind of one of those things. I'm like, I don't really know. Let's kind of see how it goes. But then I also sit back and realize, if I were to try to sell my business today, I don't think it would be sellable, right? Just because the way I've structured it, with the how involved I am with the different branding things that I have, the back end systems, the financials, like all this different stuff is just not packaged in a way that would, like, somebody could come in and be like, I'll pay you X amount of dollars for your business. And I'd be like, yep. And then I can just wash my hands clean of it. Right. Um, and I didn't build it that way. I built it as a hobby based business from day one. I built it as something that was service based as well, and that's a lot harder of a business to sell. So always build something to sell, even if you're just building an app or a software or something. Build it to sell from day one was definitely something I learned. Another big takeaway I had was focus equals freedom. Like, focus equals freedom, because I have realized, and I've done this for a long time in my career, kind of building everyone's product and building my own products, and then having go high level, and then now I'm getting into some speaking engagements and different conferences I've been going to and things like that. Like, there's a lot of distraction that happens with this, and what you choose to, like, the more things you chase, the less you catch, right? Like, I've said this before on the show, and I'll probably say it again at some point, but if you chase two rabbits, you're never going to catch one of them, right? Um, I mean, really, like, trying to juggle all of that stuff is what really leads to a lot of burnout, and a lot of, like, I can't really measure my success because I've been kind of chasing this and chasing this and chasing this, but I chase this further down the road than I chase this down the road. So I don't really know if I put enough time or effort into it for it to work. So it's really hard to measure that success, right? So just focus on one direction, and really, um, you have to block the rest of those things out. And I've always been very bad about that. I think a lot of people are bad at that. Is saying no, and that's one of the hardest things to do. Um, and then one of the biggest ones that really hit home for me, and I'm really still trying to work through this a lot, is that your business should serve your life, not consume it. Like, it shouldn't be the other way around. And I'm definitely in a phase right now where we've been growing like crazy. I'm busy. Um, you know, it is consuming a lot of my mental bandwidth and my time and my effort and my life at this moment in time. And then I was sitting there thinking, like, that's not why I built this in the first place. Like, I built this to be something that was time freedom and location freedom, and it has led to that stuff. Like, I've been able to do this from wherever. My wife and I, if you've watched the show, like, we've moved many times over the course of our relationship and marriage, because of her medical field job. And this career and this business has allowed me to move and not have to worry about, do I find a new job, how am I going to do that? That's been one thing that's been very, very cool. But at the same time, working for yourself has its own level of stress and things you have to do, and levels of discipline and things like that. But it can be built to be, you know, around your lifestyle and to serve your lifestyle, not to just be the consumption of it. So those are my biggest three takeaways, like, in terms of what I'm focusing on in 2026, just like personally, you know what I mean? Not even like business wise. Those tie in with business, but I think I hope somebody can kind of relate with those, because I think that those are also pretty universal in a lot of ways for people in this entrepreneurial space, in the tech space as well. Um, so yeah, I think, and then a couple of the tactical takeaways that I had, just like in terms of like the AI stuff and the business stuff and things like that. One is everything that I've preached about and have been continuing to shout about from the top of my lungs with this show and with everything that I do on social media, is that no code and AI is the future, and it is only getting better and more prevalent, and just changing people's lives in ways that are just absolutely incredible. And it just makes me so incredibly happy to see and to be validated in that, and seeing other people using tools like Go High Level and other no code things. And I had so many people come up to me very, very interested in what I would do. And I noticed a couple years ago when I would go to things like this, people were like, okay, whatever, you know. Now people are like, wow, like, you do what again? Like, oh, you work with this stuff? Like, it's almost like being the cool kid for once in my life, and it's I don't know how to handle it, guys. I was not a cool kid. You know what I mean? Like, I could get along with a lot of people. I think I was always kind of like, I mean, in high school I was always like, I could hang with this group and I could hang with this group and I could hang with this group. I didn't belong to like one group. But I certainly was not like a popular guy. You know what I mean? So, so it was kind of cool to be a kind of a popular guy for once. And that was kind of neat. So like, I think, you know, AI and no code is definitely the future. If you're not leveraging it already, you got to get on this bandwagon. You got to figure it out, because that is the way that things are going. The second one was like, as complicated and as big as these things can be, you got to simplify offers, and you got to keep them. If you think your offer's simple, it needs to be even more simple. Like, literally act like a 2-year-old and be like, what? Like, why, 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 why? Right? Like, ask those questions. Why this? Why that? Why this? And you get to the bottom of that, because, um, like, truly, I think that that is what people, that is why people buy. That is why people are triggered into buying things, into doing things, is because everyone is always thinking about themselves. Everyone is always thinking about what's in it for me. And that's just a part of human nature. And when it comes to building things and to marketing things, you just have to accept that as truth and reality. And the sooner you accept that fact, the better off you'll be, because you just have to realize that no one cares about the features that you have. People care about the result. They care about the result. They don't care how it's accomplished. They just want it accomplished. Especially busy people, especially entrepreneurs, especially people building businesses. They don't care. They need the result. You have to focus on that, and you have to make things simple. You have to keep things very simplified, very set inside of frameworks that can be easily understood and explained to people, because you got, like, our attention spans are like this, right? Like, they are so bad these days. And that's just the reality. That's just the reality that we deal with, the world we live in. So use that to your advantage. And then I think the other big tactical thing that I learned about, like, one, that, you know, technically there's a lot of these cool things called MCP servers, which is very, very interesting. For those of you who are developers and technical, you kind of know what I'm talking about. For those of you who are not technical, these MCP connections are really, really amazing. They basically allow you to connect your AI tools like a Chat GPT to something like a Go High Level or a Bubble or an Adala or whatever the case might be, which is insanely cool. Like, basically, you don't have to go into your CRM anymore. You just open up Chat GPT and you say, hey, what are some of the most hot opportunities in my pipeline right now, and how can I close them? And then it'll be like, oh, hey, you haven't talked to Bob in a couple of weeks. Maybe you should call him. He was close to closing. Like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, it's really cool. It's really, really cool. So that was a big one. Um, and, you know, I think I really do think that another big takeaway I had was that uh, I really need to level up my documentation game. I really need to level up the way that things are documented and processed, because it's very easy when you're building stuff to just build and build and build and build and go and just build things and just do things and launch things and just go 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 go. And then the problem comes, like, once you've done that, you're now like, okay, how does this work? Why is this broken? What's going on? And there's no documentation and there's no process in place. And as a developer, that can be a very, very big problem. So we're definitely upgrading like our documentation game, the things that we do. Um, but then just like making sure that there's processes in place and there's things, even in my personal life as well. I'm just like, here's how I handle these things and whatever. So yeah, those are some of the big things. So like I think for me, like what am I focusing on personally and professionally starting in 2026, or like at least starting now, but moving into 2026, like what are my themes, what are my focuses? Um, like 2026 is is the year of scale for me. Like it's the year of focus and the year of scale because I am really, really trying to scale Dapper No Code to an entirely new level. The demand is there, the value proposition is there, like everything is there. So it's like, why not try to actually do this more? And that's part of what I'm offering for the Black Friday deal, and then going to scale that up moving forward into 2026, and really kind of shifting more from this we'll just build everything for you, more of a done for you model, to more of a done with you model, and actually teaching and kind of moving into that informational space. Because if you can't tell from this podcast, I definitely can do some speaking and I can do some teaching. I was actually going to be a history teacher. That was my very first job. I actually was thinking about doing when I graduated high school, was I wanted to be a history teacher and a football coach. um, but I can definitely teach, and I know enough to be able to provide value in that way. So shifting to that kind of model is one of my biggest focuses. Um, so yeah, so scaling and then and kind of doing that kind of stuff. um and I think the other big theme for me is simplifying, and I think this is probably very applicable for you listening as well. Is don't try to chase all of these things all at once. Get very, very clear and very simple on one thing, maybe two things that you are chasing after, and not 20 things, right? And that's kind of what I've been doing, right? Is I took like, okay, what all do I do for people? What all do I offer? And how can I simplify that down to, okay, there is still a done for you offer. If you want us to come in and build your app and your software, we can do that for you, and you can pay us to do that, right? There's that higher level of service. There's also going to be a mid tier of service of like, we'll build it with you. We'll kind of teach you these frameworks that we use for our done for you clients that you can then model and kind of go off and do that on your own. And then getting back to, again, like a do it yourself kind of thing. Like we have a course, or even just like a simple playbook, or some AI tools that we can give to people and sell at a very low price, like a couple of bucks, for like, hey, just take this and go do it yourself. And then that's a very scalable thing as well. So like focusing on that model, I think for me is going to be very, very clear. And then, I really am excited to grow this podcast. I'm really excited to keep bringing on people and to keep doing this. And really kind of repurposing a lot of this on social media. I've been posting a lot of different things. If you follow, Dapper No Code on YouTube, or you can follow me on TikTok now. I've finally got on TikTok, and I've been posting regularly. And that's been really, really awesome and really helpful, just in terms of brand awareness and getting my name out there and different things like that. So I'm committed to doing more of that in 2026, because if you're not posting shorts right now, you're missing out. There is just ridiculous growth potential for shorts. Like our YouTube channel went up like 32,000% when I started posting that stuff. It's insane. Like it's insane. They always say long form content wins. I'm not so sure anymore. I think short form, um, in terms of attention and eyeballs, is where it's at. Like it's really, really, really where it's at. So yeah, so that's kind of my little spiel for the Get Elevated live event that I went to last week. Yeah, man, and if you guys ever end up listening to this, I just would like to give a shout out to Allie. Very, very awesome event, and your team as well. Very, very cool, very useful. I did not, step into some of the offers that she made while she was doing that thing there. But I did that, kind of with intention. I really didn't, um, you know, to be honest, I'm already in a couple of other coaching programs, and I need to focus on those instead of just continually hiring new coaches. So that was one reason I didn't do it. But then, I really kind of was able to learn what I wanted to learn while I was there. But yeah, you guys did a phenomenal job. It was really awesome. Anybody who's listening to this that I was able to meet while we were there, it was definitely nice meeting you, and it was really fun. And if you would love to come on the show, I'd love to have you, and we could talk about possibly, coordinating something like that. But I'm interested for you guys, for anyone still listening, if if you'd like to share any of your focuses, coming up in 2026. What are you going to be focusing on? What are you going to be cutting out? What are you going to be working on and simplifying down in your life and in your business? Again, you can reach out to me on TikTok or Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or any of those social channels. You can search Dan Hafner or Dapper No Code. Just send me a message. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to talk about that. Be very interested to hear what you guys have to take away. You can also leave comments on this podcast, I believe, if you're on Creators for Spotify. If you're on like the old Anchor platform and Creators for Spotify or Spotify, I believe you can actually leave comments. So feel free to leave a comment. Let me know like what your biggest growth focus for 2026 is. I'd be very interested to hear it. All right, guys. So that is it for this episode. We'll come back at you with another one here soon. But I hope you got some value from this. And I hope at least, if nothing else, you can take away the fact that, Black Friday is almost here. The holidays are here. This is a time of year where a lot of people slow down. You should be the one that speeds up. You should be the one that gets moving, that gets your ass in gear and kicks off January 1st with momentum, instead of just sitting there thinking, all right, now it's time to go. Because people like me, we're going to be mopping the floor with you because we're already going, we're already making moves, we're already doing things. So just stay busy during the holidays. Stay busy and stay focused. All right, guys, that's all for this episode. Appreciate all of you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Tech Bytes, your go-to show for software business and technology. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our latest episodes, insights, and stories. Hungry for more? Dive deeper into the world of no-code by visiting dapnacode.com. Your journey to building amazing software without coding skills starts there. Connect with like-minded creators and unlock a world of resources tailored just for you. Subscribe now. Explore Dapper No Code and let's innovate together.